Well, hello everyone. This is Jessie Bowen with the Become an Author podcast, and I'm excited. And the reason I'm excited because today is National Authors Day, and I'm in the publishing business, and I help people all over the world to tell their story, to be able to get it out. And today's an opportunity for us to bring in awareness about authors, who are some of the people that are out there. We really want to welcome everyone. Today we're honoring these incredible authors and their journey, and to explore becoming an author and how it will transform not just your life, but the lives of others through the power of your story. So today I have with me my daughter, Jessica. Hey, Jess.
Hello, everyone. Excited to be here. Of course, Elite Publications, we have to celebrate National Authors Day. So we're stoked to have some amazing, incredible guests here with us today. We have Sensei Juanita Kapps. We have Bushi Tensei, or AKA Hanshi Nathan Ray. And then we have Hanshi Thomas Fleming here with us. And we are so excited to have each and every one of you. And to those who are viewing, thank you for helping us celebrate. Thank you.
We have, I want to give a big shout out to my wife who has her book that just launched. I think that was on
That's
Wednesday.
right.
And really want to thank everybody for supporting her. The book is doing great. It's already hit Amazon's top seller, hot new release in several Christian categories. Just made this morning, made an international bestseller. So really want to thank everyone, for your support. Remember, if you have an idea and you want to enhance that thought and turn it into something, a book is one of the greatest ways to do it, because a book can influence you in so many ways. So today, as we're celebrating National Authors Day, I wanted to be an inspiration to you. Back, I guess, 40 years ago, I wrote my first book. Now I've got over 40 books that I've actually written. And, that changed my life. And so when you have a book, that is a powerful tool to help you to gain, to meet your goals. What are that goals is making an impact in the world. So what do I say every day, Nathan? Better, better, and better. What?
Gonna make
Try
the
to make the world a better place. Well, that's what I'm trying. Again, someone said to me, well, you're doing it. Well, I said, I'm always looking to see how can I influence it. And my books and helping people tell their story is one of the greatest ways that I've discovered to be able to do that. So, Jess, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And, we can let's go through, and I guess, take and start with our guests and shoot them a couple of questions. Now, everyone, I'm not going to call these people average, because they're not average. When you got 2 10th degree black belts up here, and that's not including me, guys that are changing and impacting the world. And we're very grateful for that. So, seniority has this privilege. So, let's welcome Hanshi Fleming from Canada, who has an amazing book that he released this year, part of his Canadian Karate Hall of Fame. And I love those guys in Canada, because, they have their stuff together, especially when it comes down to martial arts, legacy. Such a thrill to work with them. So welcome, Hanshi Fleming.
Thank you. I'm sorry about going in and out here, but we have a bad rainstorm going on, and it keeps clicking us out. So I do apologize. I keep losing connection here.
Well, hey, listen, nothing stops a 10th degree black belt. So, hey, we got it going on. So, you've got it going on. So let's talk just for a moment, because what's the name of your book that you just released?
It's called the CKA Legacy book. It's based on from 1969 to 2024 and of the history of the Canadian Karate Association that was founded in 1969. And there's all biographies from all the senior black belts that have competed or been a part of the executive of the Canadian Karate Association, to our competitions, our Hall of Fames over the last 50 years.
Well, you had something very unique, with your book, and it was, Elite Publication is really, we're very grateful for the opportunity for you entrusting all that knowledge, to us. And I mean, it was a challenge.
Oh, it was. I didn't know anything about it, and with your help and Jessica's help, we made it happen. And I can't thank you enough, because it was a dream of my instructor, Hanshi Fern Claroux, who really ran the CKA from 1972 to his death almost. I took over in 2015 from him. I was his vice president for many years, and it was his dream that we had some type of legacy to show of all the black belts that have come before us, and the ones that became champions internationally, nationally. He wanted something, and it was his dream, and I'd made him a promise I would do it. And wow. I met you in Las Vegas, and this is how this whole thing came about when I was down there for Bill Wallace. And 14 months later, and a lot of heartache, we got it done.
Hanshi Fleming, it was a bit challenging, but the greatest part about it is that, one, you're leaving a legacy, not for just your teacher, but for everyone in the book. You have over 75 martial artists, black belt martial artists that's associated with the CKA in that book. And it's the first book of its kind that's actually a martial arts book translated in English and French. So yes, that's an amazing bragging rights, if I say, for you to have the opportunity to have these people in the book. And now you're not just marketing to English speakers and readers. You now have this other base in Canada, the French. So how did that idea come about for you? What made you want to do English and French?
Well, the whole idea came about Fern Claroux, who was my teacher. I was taught in Hull, Quebec, and that is where it's French and English, let me tell you. And his club was all French, and I was the only English guy in the club at the time. So it was quite a challenge for me, but he learned English and I tried to learn French. And
okay, he's going in and out. Like I said, this is Hanshi Tom Fleming. He is in Canada, and again, one of our amazing authors. We published for his organization, and as Jessica was saying, someone says, "Well, I'm gonna publish a book." Okay, go for it. Anybody can do it. So that's not rocket science on that. But the uniqueness of Hanshi's book and the people that he brought in was that Canada is a English and French speaking country. So we produced a book that was written in English and in French. Yeah. And we also built a website. So with each biography, has a QR code that goes to a website that gives the full, their full bio that could not fit in the book. And then it goes and they have a video library. They have a photo library. So they got a lot of different things added to their program. And now the one thing that I want to bring an attention to is what Hanshi said, and that was a promise to his teacher. You see, we cannot take for granted legacy. Mm-hmm. Legacy, because that is the way that we, especially, and he's the president of the CKC, the Canadian Karate Association. So he is the president. He is the lead guy that is, bringing that word legacy to his people. So again, Hanshi Fleming, we're definitely grateful for. Number one, you entrusting to us that opportunity, but it gave us an opportunity to stretch our ability, as publishers in that. So we're going to go on over to, Hanshi Ray. And so his book and what he's doing is very unique. Yeah. And everyone, Elite Publications and the American Martial Arts Alliance, foundation, we started, this series and getting serious about publishing back in 2015, and it grew, and now we're an international publishing company. But what we have been working on is the people that are featured in our legacy book, the Who's Who in the Martial Arts book. How do we build more values? Because just being featured in the book and okay, yeah, we make revenue off of it, but how do I get revenue going back to the people that are in our books? And that's the thing about a compilation book, is how do we translate that? And I know with Hanchi Ray, we don't have a picture of that cover here, but what we did was to he's got his own. Thank you. So as he's hold up again, please. He's holding up his book. So if you see the legacy book online, you'll see Chuck Norris, Bill Wallace, all those guys on the book cover. But what we did in publishing, we actually personalized. So he has his own personalized book. And so each student that comes into his martial arts school, guess what they get? They get a copy of his personalized book signed by him. And he's using that to influence people when they come to his school. He's got a great school. He's in Raleigh, in Knightdale, North Carolina. So tell us a little bit, Hanchi Ray, how are you using your personalized cover? So that's what. So we personalized that book. It's the same thing for everyone that has a copy of the book. Only thing that changed was your cover. And we just made you a contributing author in there, which was something, really new. So tell us about how that's going with your school now, and how does your students feel about knowing that you are a published author?
It takes things to, well, let me say this. Greetings, everyone. Excited to be here. Always very thankful to be in such great company. And to have the opportunities that Hanchi's providing, making the world a better place, as he always says, and literally, and Jessica and all their work. Thank you all again for having me. But no, the one thing you can't do is edify yourself. It doesn't work. You come off as arrogant and all those negative things. But by being connected with the legacy book, and being on the cover, even before being on the cover, just being associated with such a high level, the first thing I hear is, oh, he's in the book, on the book with Chuck Norris. I remember him from the, so automatically you can't edify yourself, but just being in association with such high level martial artists immediately puts you in a whole another category. That's the first thing. And then being able to connect that, Hanchi is always given nuggets, always. And I remember the story of acres of diamonds. Man he lived on a farm, had acres of diamonds. He sold it to go look for diamonds.
Yeah.
So recognizing the value that Elite is bringing us, they're right here, and Hanchi is constantly giving these nuggets. And so, for example, one exciting thing I did, I took his advice. I went and bought, I don't know if you all know, I'm going to give them a plug. Nothing Bundt Cakes has the best cakes in the world. I'm just saying. So I went by and picked up some of their small, kind of like cupcake-like cakes, really nice, and took my bank manager a copy of my book signed. And hey, that leaves an everlasting impression for the level of business that he has in his bank that he can showcase, speak about us if he chooses, which I'm pretty strongly, I think he is. And because they were really excited to get a copy of the book and to get just a small treat in the way of a thanks and showing appreciation for the service that they provide. So when we operate in that level, we lead from that competitive side to the creative side. And that's what Elite is allowing us to do, to jump into the creative side of who we are and extend that beyond the martial arts, because we all know that are on this call, that martial arts is about how we do life. And
Mhm.
so Elite is giving us so many tools and goodies to be able to really be on another level. So that's just one example. And I just started a program at a private school locally here. Same idea, to be able to go in and give the students a copy of your book. I mean, word travels fast, especially amongst parents. So parents talk, and so it allows, like I said, we can't edify ourselves, but Elite is doing it for us, giving us the tools to be able to just hand someone a book, and the book will say it all. So
We definitely
Well,
appreciate.
yeah, yeah, we're really grateful for that. Hanchi Fleming, I know you were. I'm not sure you're still in the banking business, but I know that you were in the banking business. So when a client walks in and they give you something such as they've written a book and hand it to you, you remember that, don't you?
Oh,
I'm not sure you can hear me. Okay, he still
I
may be
hear
having
you.
some
Can you hear me
problems. I'm
now?
not. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
All
sir. We
right.
can hear you.
Yeah, in the banking business, we used to give all kinds of handouts. And what we did with the book is I took it all to the libraries with your suggestion and in the area, and they were really thankful for it. And then people went into the library and they saw the book, and then they contacted us through the CKAlegacybook.com, and they started purchasing them. We also went to different dojos for the people that were in the book, and we did book signings where I tried to get as many of the black belts that were in the book to be there. And then at our Hall of Fame, the Canadian Black Belt Hall of Fame, we took in had the book there, and as many of the people that were in the book were there, and they were signing it for all the students and people and parents, and it really worked well.
Well, that is great. Hey, Jess, anything you want to say? I think I cut you off a moment ago.
It's okay. I wanted to just kind of follow up, and Hanchi Fleming just mentioned it as well. Both Hanchi Fleming and Hanchi Ray, both had a book signing, so that it helped to give them that exposure. So they invited their students and their parents, and I just wanted to ask, and so we can follow up. How did that impact you and your school, your book signing? And let's start with Hanchi Fleming, and then we'll come over to Hanchi Ray.
Oh, well, after the book signing, we were getting all the parents calling the Canadian Karate Association, asking where they could, like there was a lot of people that weren't in karate, and they were saying where they could put their kids in or where they could go to um, take karate lessons. And I was giving them a list of people in their area, and I got great feedback from all the people saying they're getting interest in this, and they were very thankful for the book signing. It went over really big.
yeah, I
In the
concur.
way of new recruits.
Similar results. I'm sorry. Similar results over here. And the thing about it is we have neighbors. We have some neighbors, martial arts schools. But you know what? When we did our book signing, one of the comments you commonly hear was that yeah, there's other schools around. However, this school is on another level, and that was just constantly kind of the catchphrase for the evening. The parents value having something of such great value, which adds to our ability to provide top-notch programming for our students. We don't have to hold back or anything like that, because we're getting the support from them because they have a higher level of value. So when we present new programs, roll out things, there's no question marks. It's just like, hey, what do we need to do to be a part of this? Because we want to hitch our wagon to you all because we know you're going places.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I'm going to let Hanchi Bowen come in because we're going to flip over to Sensei Cap. So you go ahead and get ready, Sensei Cap. That's the amazing thing about having a book. And I know that my dad is going to say, I know him. One thing that you see on CNN is that everyone has a book, and that's what separates them from the ordinary people. and it gives you that credibility. So that's amazing that that's helping your schools, both Hanchi Fleming, the organization, and your school, Hanchi Ray, to be more successful and separate yourself and be distinguished from your martial arts school, down the street. Go ahead, Hanchi Bowen. I'm sorry, I was going to cut you off.
No, you got it, girl. You talk like we talk alike, don't we? We always have a word.
The fruit and the tree. The fruit and the tree.
Well, and it's not, and everyone, if you're just tuning in, we're some great individuals who are authors who we've had a chance to publish for, and we're celebrating them today. And, so we got a lot of little bitty things here, but if you're interested in becoming an author, you would like to talk with us, we'd love to sit down, hear about your project, and give you good, solid information on how we can guarantee that we can make you an international best-selling author. We can guarantee that. And it's not always about, as a business person, and I publish a book, it's my giant business card. No longer do I have a little business card. And it's not the $19 book that I may sell, but as a business person, it's the door that it opens. Say, for an example, that now that now I have a book signing and I charge $100 a month, and I get 12 people to come in and on one day and sign up into my martial arts program. So that now turns out to be $12,000. I mean, so when you look at, one book, so you got 10 books you give out, but it brings you $12,000. So it's not just about, the book. Some people want to write because they just have a story. Some people want to write because they want a book to influence what they do in their profession. Some people write a book because they have a huge group that they want to monetize too. I was looking at one author who's just released a book, and she has already earned $170,000 from her book sales just on Amazon. That's not called, looking at the other areas it's on. So a book can be a resource that your story is a gold mine. Now there's a commercial comes on, and I think it's an insurance commercial, and it's talking about how you can use the equity out of your insurance. And there's a little guy down sort of underneath the house. He shouts something at the lady, "You're sitting on a gold mine." Well, that's how your story is. Your story, because now if my story could benefit 50,000 people, 20,000 people, because they purchased my book. Now, I tell folks all the time, if you don't like money and you got some objections, we have a nonprofit. It's called the American Martial Arts Alliance Foundation. You can donate to it. You know what I mean? You got a story that can make a difference, but you don't like money, then you can always, make and plus we're a nonprofit, is tax deductible. So we got you covered in there. But now I got to go to my next guest, and this is Sensei Kapp, and she's unique in a very special way, other than Hanchi Fleming and Hanchi Ray, because she's releasing her own book. And today we're actually getting the cover out. She's going to be posting the cover of the book. We've done about 12 different covers, and we selected the 3. And we're going to give you, her fans, an opportunity to have a voice in which cover she's going to use on her book. Now, she's already an international best-selling co-author. She's been in several books and everything, but now she's made a decision to launch her book. And she's also, just in a few weeks, in December, she's going to be launching her Hall of Fame event, which is going to be down in Houston, Texas. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to have the book launch in Houston, Texas. So you want to come out so you can shake hands, get an autographed copy of her book. But it's going to be a lot of fun because people are already coming in. She's already in the awards recognition business. So Why am I saying all this? Hey, Juanita, introduce yourself to everyone, please.
Good day, everyone. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the honor to be here on this wonderful platform on this special day. Happy National Authors Day to everyone. Hanshi Bowen, always an honor and a pleasure to work with you and Jessica. And so pleased to meet Hanshi Fleming and Hanshi Ray. I'm Juanita Kapps from Meticulous Moments and from the MAM group. And yes, Hanshi, very excited for the upcoming MAM Hall of Fame. And of course, I am an author with Elite Publications, and I chose Elite Publications because I wanted to publish with family. And for those of you in the audience who don't know, the martial arts community, we are one big family. And Hanshi Bowen was my first MAM member, and he had enough trust in me, and he had the courage to walk with me this whole time. And now we are on the brink of a MAM Hall of Fame. So Hanshi, utmost respect to you, and the Elite Publications family is my family with the martial arts family. I'm very proud to publish with you. Thank you so much.
Well, you have a, we're brought into each other's lives for a very something special. It's called purpose. And a lot of times when you're going, when you're on a path, then people are put on that path to help you open the door. And that's what I look at Elite Publications, is that when people, when they meet me and when I meet them, that's something very special. And, the publishing side, because everyone has a story, and for us to be able to come out and tell that story. So you're the brand new author. You're the one that has decided that, okay, I've been in these compilation books, which are great. And compilation books are great because all you have to do is write a chapter. And everybody else is working with you. Another big shout out to my wife. If I don't shout out, then I get in trouble, because last night she beat me in bowling. She's only been bowling now for this is maybe her 12th game, and she beat me last night.
Wow.
She beat me. She beat everybody else that we were bowling against. But anyway, back to the book.
The ringer. He's a ringer.
Hey, we're going to get our book. We're going to have her to do our own bowling book next year. But getting back, to that is that, with her book, she's got a compilation book. She's got 11 fantastic ladies from across the country that are co-authors. Now the book released this week. It's already hit Amazon's bestseller here in the U.S. And this morning it started hitting, what was that, Jessica? Was that Australia?
It was Australia.
We just made #1 bestseller, in Australia. So this is what we're sharing with everyone, that publishing a book is not just publishing a book. Becoming an author is not just writing a book. Start with the end in mind. What is it that you want a book to do for you? What do you want your knowledge to do for you? And yes, it's okay. I just want to write a book. It's on my bucket list. Can you just do that? You guys, seem like you're on jet fuel or something. Yes, whatever you want. We work for you. That's how we approach it. We work for you. Whatever you want is what we're going to provide. And we're going to give you information to make you the best, because, for our authors like, Hanshi Fleming, who's an international best-selling author, if that's what he wants, then that's what my job is to do. So in celebrating our National Authors Day, so we got a wide group here. So Juanita, how did you finally make that decision that, okay, I've been writing, I've been writing with someone long enough, I'm going to take the courage. And I love your cover. So tell us a little bit about your decision to become a published author for yourself, your own personal book.
Absolutely. Thank you, Anchi. That's an awesome question. I have been ghostwriting since 2013. So for years, I've been writing for others as a ghostwriter. And then I started to go into the compilation. So I went into 7 co-authorships, a 7-time international best-selling author. But I just felt this year that I was ready to tell my story now. Hanshi, you're a minister as well. I was a minister for 15 years. And for me, preaching the word of God, those stories, the parables that Jesus used to change people's lives, it's the same with our stories, because our stories tell about our trials, our tribulations, and other people are able to, when they read those stories, connect their dots and they get their answers. And I just felt like the Lord was saying, this is the year that I have to bring my story to light. And the title of my book is Lioness, because that's my nickname in the martial arts. And then the rest of the title is A Warrior's Journey. And the whole book is about how literally, and this applies to all of us, I have had to fight for everything that I've believed in and accomplished through the grace of God in my life, and what I've learned from those lessons and how it's helped me, because my life passion, my life destiny is to facilitate community upliftment, and I do that through leadership development. So the aim of this book is to, through my story, to uplift community, to show people it is possible. There's more than one answer to a question. God will either take you around it or over it or under it, but he will definitely take you through it. There's always hope. And that is through the leadership development that I had to undergo in my character, not only in my journey as a martial artist being shaped, but taking, like Hanshi Ray said, taking those principles of martial arts and applying them in my life, and how it just all came together. And of course, everybody in this room knows this is not the end of the story, right? Because we keep learning every day, and we have so much more to add on to that.
Well, you're exactly right. And if you're wondering, well, how do I come up with a story? Where are you right now in life? That's the story. What problems can you solve? What have you been through? Someone else may be going through, but your solution can help them. Maybe it's a fiction book, and maybe you're using your imagination to create it. We all have fantasies and imaginations and 70,000 thoughts a day. Something's going through your head. So how do you turn that into something that will entertain? So you have a powerful place, and this is why we're doing this today. And we're actually going to continue today, because there's so much out there that we want to share about becoming an author. If I had not taken that step and published my first book, I probably wouldn't have wound up at Duke University, because I already had a published book. I had a curriculum. Then I was at Duke University for 29 years. I travel all over the world, speaking to companies like Nike, Raytheon, American Express, Coca-Cola. But my book and what I've done is a part of my business card. So we want everyone to reach out to Elite Publications and let us know, let us work with your story, so that next year when we're celebrating Authors Day, we want to have you on our podcast talking about the things that you have done, the success in your book and how it works. And I know that for some people, you may be thinking, that's a lot of information. I don't know where to start. You don't have to have that information. We already have it. And all we do is provide it to you with enough options to be able to make sure that you can now make a great decision. So Juanita, any last words from you?
Absolutely. I just want to encourage the audience to tell their story. There is someone out there that needs to hear it. And we were all placed on this earth for a specific function. And someone needs to hear what you've been through, so that they can maybe pivot their life road or adapt a thing that they're doing in their life. So everything that we go through turns out to be an inspiration to someone else. So just an encouragement, if you're in the audience today, like Anshi Bowen said, make sure you become an author and that you are on here next year to celebrate National Authors Day. Thank you, Anshi.
All right, Master Ray, Anshi Ray, any last words?
That was so well said, Juanita. Awesome. No, I think that it, and oftentimes it might feel like you got to come up with some big thing, but it can be one word that you share, one single word, one single statement can rock someone's world radically and get them to the next step. And so I would just say that to concur with Juanita, which is just go ahead and go for it.
That is awesome. Hanshi Fleming.
Well, the only thing I can add to that after Juanita has brought up was really well done, is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. Let me put it that way. And the thing is, with the help of elite publications, and there's other avenues too that weren't mentioned today that we're really looking into, is the Mega Universe Museum. And to be able to put their bios in that way, that's another avenue that we're really exploring and really pushing right now. And just to give you an idea, when we came out with the book, we had about 75 authors that put their bios in. And then after it came out, we had so many other people. I got 31 or 32 now people that want to be in the book. And I said to Jessie, what do I do now? And he says, well, we can look at it seriously. And this is what we're going to do in the new year. We're going to look at it and get these other people published either in another edition or add it to the book somehow. But the big difference that I'd like to say is thank you for taking the time to make it a bilingual book, both French and English here in Canada. It's 2 languages we have, and it made a real big difference with the French-speaking people in Canada and the English, because it showed the unity then, and it tried to bring people together. And I do thank you so much for that. It was a lot of hard work. Thank you.
Well worth the work. And we want to say to our friends in Canada, you're correct, Hanshi. We're a legacy company. We actually have a online museum, and we're opening up a section of that museum just to have a tribute to our Canadian martial arts brothers and sisters. Again, another storage place for legacy. Now, this information, someone's, today it looks like our society is not really interested in history, but you see, you got to have history, because when it comes back around, you know what to do. You don't want to have to keep making the same mistakes. You really want your people to be better martial artists, but you have to build on top of what's already there. So when you become an author and people read about these people like Grandmaster Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, and Bill Wallace, those are foundations that can inspire people to now pursue the martial arts, to be involved in that. So to our friends in Canada, so yes, go ahead and sign up. We're ready now to open that wing up in the museum, so we can start putting their bios and their information. So we provide a lot of different technology to support everyone. Jessica, any last words from you?
Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. As you can see, like Hanshi Ray mentioned earlier, you really don't want to brag on yourself. Much doesn't come from it. But when you have, some incredible people such as yourselves speak so highly of elite publications, it just lets us know that we're on the right path. And we want to help those who are viewing to celebrate you next year for National Authors Day. So if you have a story inside of you, let us know. If you don't know where to start, let us know. We can help you from the conception to the completion. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. Come on over to Elite Publications and we will help you get it out.
Well, Jessica, you just robbed me of my closing. But that's okay.
Well taught.
That's that is our tagline, and that's what it really is. Everyone has a story.
Yeah.
You may think your story is a bad story, but someone is going through it. Tell that story. Find a solution. Remember, leave your mark. Knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is powerful. So we want to encourage everyone. Listen. You may not know it, but I love to talk. My wife says the preacher in me, but anytime you want to call me up and have a conversation about how a book can make your life better, let me know, because I just want to share my knowledge that makes the world a better place. Everyone, this is Elite Publication, and we really thank our authors that are on here today as testimonies to their personal achievements and how a book has influenced their life. Remember, go ahead, Jessica. What are to remember?
Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you all.